Oh, you grub. Finish. Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Mine. I'm your host. And yeah, we're here listening to Alan bitch and moan for the last 25 minutes because the guy can't read text messages.
I got up early for you. For you, yeah, got up early again for you. I've got my hot cross buns on my side here. I wish I'm going to eat them because I'm starving. It's because it's Easter. Happy Easter, everybody.
Nice dignified start to the show.
You, Patrick.
Alan.
Good evening, Patrick and Dashmesh. How are you, gentlemen?
Can't complain. No one listens.
Yeah, good.
Good. Anyway, yeah, good evening and welcome back to the channel. I know there's other shows going on, so but don't worry about that. We will go ahead and bring you on. Good, Mark.
It's all right because me and Dash were watching it before. Don't you worry.
I'm too early for this. You're always too early, mate. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, give it a like. Tone, good evening. Smash them likes. Blues, have all a great show. Thank you very much, mate. Good evening, Blues. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much, mate. We got 3 points at a very tricky place against a resurgent team, so no complaints until Alan speaks. Evening, Mark. How are you? Great win for City, and I see us getting top 5 at least, if not higher. Well, so I told you I said top 3 in FA Cup. Good evening, FIFA. How are you? Yes, Dash. Everyone smash those likes, subscribe. Hope everyone had a good Easter Sunday. If you celebrated it, if you're not, hope you've had a lovely Sunday. For 70 minutes, that game, Everton, it was purely boring and frustrating. I disagree. I don't think it was. I know you think it was. And we've had this debate on a space. Watching KDB, Silva and Savio, Pep finally changed it with Doku and Cobb on the pitch, which was the turning point. City were already dominating at that point, Dash. Everyone knows I'm not the Doku's biggest fan, but yesterday was more effective on the left wing than Savio. His explosiveness clawed in 2 or 3 opponents, allowed our attackers to get joy in the final third. Then he said, Mamouche is suffering with KDB, Gundo, Silva, and Forza. And if Silva and Savio, which is becoming his main source of link-up, isn't on it, then he's struggling. We'll talk about it, I promise you. Good evening, Lee Gates. How are you? Hope you are well. Nico G kept the flow. I thought Nico G was bang average yesterday, mate, and deserved to get subbed.
What?
We'll get into it.
What?
Yeah, Alan.
Bang average. Are you blind?
No.
Well, fucking mate. He makes us.
Guardiola wasn't blind either, Alan. Who got taken off, mate? Who got taken off?
Oh.
Hello, DC. How are you? Guys, Gvardiol is our best player. Right, anyway, let's get into it. There's loads, and I will bring you all up. I promise you, there's loads in the building. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Right, let's get into it. City 0. City, Everton 0, City 2, which was very, very good. Very, very good for me, anyway. Now, so the lineup, as we know about, they did start with Ortega in net. Mateus Nunes. We're going to have a chat about him, Alan. We're having a chat about Nunes, mate.
He's shit.
What game do you watch? What game you watch? David Diaz, Josko Gvardiol, Nico O'Reilly, Nico Gonzalez, Ilkay Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, KDB. That has caused absolute uproar in the fan base in the last day or two, which we will touch upon tonight, because I love the way, a little spoiler, everyone now wants us to do what we've moaned at all season for the club doing. Weird that, innit? Well, we'll get into it. Savinio and Oman Mamouche on the bench. Kanja, which was great to see him back. Scott Carson, Jeremy Doku, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Kushinov, Kovacic, Lewis, and James McAtee. Pat, we'll start with Dashmas, actually, because you were not been on for. What did you think of that lineup, mate? While I just throw up some of these.
In my opinion, the lineup was fine. Like, firstly, the only and the most important thing which was very, very good about Everton match was the result. Because, to be honest, I am in that camp who said that it was very boring game. And, like, I did not expect that we would be coming out with a win. But thankfully, Nico O'Reilly like saved us, because if the first one doesn't go in, I don't think the second one would have. So I think the
Martin didn't want Nico O'Reilly to play at all this season, if I remember rightly. Don't give the kids a chance.
but overall,
Carry
I
on,
think
Damash.
overall the lineup was fine, but I think the Pep took too much time to make the substitutes. Like, I don't know how, I don't know what others think, but I don't know how Savio was on the pitch that long. I think he was very, very bad yesterday, and he should have been subbed off for Grealish or Doku, anyone. But he was, in my opinion, he was very bad in attack. Bernardo was doing nothing. I think KDB played well. A lot of people are saying KDB didn't play well, because KDB actually played 3-4 very good crosses into the box, and there was no one finishing that cross. So I think KDB played fine yesterday. He wasn't special, but he wasn't bad either. And defense was fine. Like, there were one or two counter attacks, but overall the defense was fine. So, and Edison was injured, so it's fine. Yeah.
Alan?
I thought I was satisfied with the starting lineup, I'll be honest with you, even with Nunes coming in, because we don't have a lot of alternatives. I thought that we passed the ball backwards and sideways for the first 70 minutes, and that's all we did. Occasionally, we did go forward. We decided to pass it back all the way back to the goalkeeper half the time. I'm thinking, what are we doing? There was no forward press at times, but after the substitutions, which completely changed the game, we were a lot better. It gave us more purpose in what we were doing. Second half, we were a bit, well, to be fair, we had more intensity, so we were better. But first half, God, I was bored. It was boring as hell. It was awful to watch. Everton weren't much better.
Yeah, lineup I think could have been about as strong as it could have been, to be honest. It's pretty safe to say the back four pretty much speaks for itself, I think, for the rest of this season, pending any more injuries and that. But look, I was happy with the formation. I think it's safe to say I think we all our lineups are now based off what we had at Old Trafford, and if it's going to be the same again, and then all depends on sort of the way the fan base reacts to that in a way. But look, I'm glad at least we're putting wingers out there again. You know, it's such an old midfield as well too. You know, you got to expect that there is going to be a slight drop in tempo as well too in certain parts of the field, and I think we saw that particularly for the first half as well. I don't really. It's weird because nobody can really put their hand up to say that they had a good first half, and then nobody can really put their hand up to say that they're absolutely terrible either. So it was one of those weird ones where it felt like we were just stuck in sort of football purgatory for the first 45 minutes, really. I agree with what Alan said. Much better coming out of the second half. Basically, I thought we played with a bit more tempo, a bit more vigor, and certainly just looked like more of a goal scoring threat than we did in the first half as well. Alluded to what Richo's comment said before. I think Tarkowski getting injured or having to come off certainly was the reason. Well, certainly was a big reason why the first goal came about. You know, it took a while, obviously, but I want to get into that in a bit. The goal that we scored, because I think it's a brilliant piece of movement in the box by Nico O'Reilly. If anybody goes back and watches the goal, I'll explain it in a bit, but. I thought it was very, very sensible, the sort of thing you would see from a prime Gundogan, not from someone who's 18 and fresh out of the academy. But besides all that, it's like
you got the assist part.
I believe it was Mateus Nunes.
Yeah,
the only thing he bloody did in 90 minutes.
Very important though.
I think Alan was looking at reruns from 5 months ago, so he didn't watch the same game as me. Carry on, Pat.
Yeah. So and it was nice to get the second goal when we did. Just a bit of insurance as well too. But you felt like the way that game was going. The only way Everton were going to make a game of it was either from a set piece or we were going to make some absolute god awful mistake. And luckily, we kept we kept both of those at a minimum, basically. So, again, coming back to at this point of the season, I'm not really too concerned about the performance. I just want to know if we get 3 points at the end of 90 minutes, and we did that. So, job done. And I don't know how much confidence this has me coming into Aston Villa, but I do hope that we can right any wrongs that we made from this weekend and go forward from there. But overall, job done. I can't really complain. I can't really Alan this performance too much. So happy days.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. By the way, hello to everyone in the chat. I'm just putting up all your comments as we always do. Before we get going, massive big up, by the way, to Fogger, who has gifted 10 channel memberships in the chat. I do apologise. I know we've not done a membership giveaway. We will do one in this month. I promise you. It's my bad because we're not totally, but we're revamping parts of the channel at the minute. So we will give you an update, but there will be a membership giveaway this month. So big up, Foggy. If you have got a gifted a membership, please say thank you to the legend that is Foggy. And Tone, the newest member of the Mancunian Way, has now renewed for 6 months. Thank you very much, mate. And don't forget, City Till I Die, episode 6 is out tomorrow as well. So keep an eye on that for your bank holiday. I was totally happy with the 11 that was available. Was the first half full of brimfire and everything else? No. But I'm going to ask a simple question. Let's go back 5 months. What was everyone complaining about the football being and the way we were set up?
Well, first of all, there's a lack of discipline. We were way more disciplined today. Yesterday.
Lack of discipline. Easy to cut through. One ball over the top. It's a bit weird because, by the way, we're going to come to the KDB situation soon because the amount of flip-flopping that is going on at the moment, I feel like I'm on a beach because everyone is flip-flopping. They've gone from wanting to rebuild, we don't want to rebuild. We don't want to play open football. Oh, what we're playing now is boring. There is so much PTSD over this season, nobody's making sense in what they're saying anymore. And I'm sorry, Alan, I'm going to use a perfect example. You text me, boring, sideways football. You did a show with us 5 months ago. I will quote you verbatim. I prefer controlling football over this basketball football. Now, you want to do basketball football.
No doubt.
So what part of control football did you not get?
Well, I don't mind controlling football if we're passing the ball forwards, but we were playing rugby league where you have to pass the ball sideways and backwards, because that's what we did first half. All the
teams on a pitch.
5 times in the first half.
There was a 5-man wall.
Listen, we were outside their 18-yard box, and the ball ended back up at our keeper because we were passing it back that much. I'm sat there, what the fuck are we doing? You were better second half because they passed the ball forward, which is true. Pass the ball forward.
I will say though, Alan, I think our best opportunities came down the channels, came down both wings. There was some half decent link up play between Nunes and Bernardo at times. I mean, they were able to square it and cut it back, but I think there was such a lack of tempo and vigor going forward in the middle that it just,
you're right.
You can do all that work, but once you cut a ball back, you're looking for someone to finish it. There wasn't really much there. I know I'll give credit to KDB for putting a shot on goal, but I think it was Mikolenko who just put a bloody kamikaze sort of save in, to stop it. So give credit to that. So, I mean, that was probably our best opportunity at the game. But, I can understand why people think it's a bit boring when that's our only real clear-cut chance of a single half. So,
but was it? Was it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you had the long shot from Gundogan. So,
no, it wasn't. It was Nunes who wanted the shot.
Yeah, Gundogan had one as well.
But if you actually think about it, the only chance Everton had in the first half was at the post, and that was ping ball in the box.
Yeah, that was off the corner. Like I mentioned before, I said I think Everton's best chances were either set pieces or capitalising off a horrible defensive mistake from us.
They had a couple of more chances, which we are forgetting. Braithwaite had a good chance, which Ortega actually saved pretty well. People are not talking about that. It was a very...
No, first half talking.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I will come to the second half because I agree. I think it became a more up and down game in the second half. But in the first half, other than that, I thought City could have been 2 up early on. You watch the game back. Everton started the game. The first 2 minutes, it was all Everton. Give me that. And then for 20 minutes, Everton didn't see the ball. It was all us.
But I still think, though, it was too much of control without actually doing anything. Like, we were having that control in defense.
Thank you.
We were not actually making too much attacks. Like, we couldn't create anything.
Is that not what we've moaned at all season, Dashmash, about this? About doing this open, expansive football?
But we are actually going to the other extreme now. Like,
no, but we're actually going back to where we was in the treble season.
Not really, because we were actually creating a lot of chances that season. That's why Haaland scored that many goals. So, so it's not like we were having that much control in the defense.
It's keeping possession with purpose. That is the key.
Because
we didn't do that first half.
Actually, a lot of times in the attack, our wingers had the ball, and like Savio, 90% of the times, like put the pass backwards. Like he didn't actually take his man on. He didn't try to take on because Mamouche actually makes good runs in the box as well. And I don't remember any time Savio actually crossing the ball to Mamouche. KDB was crossing the ball, Nunes was crossing the ball, but Savio, I don't know what he was doing.
What about the 2 chances Mamouche should have scored?
No, yeah, he should have scored.
These are the things I think we've all forgotten, is all jumped out of our mind because he missed them.
But one of those chances which Mamouche actually got, he made that chance for himself. No one actually created that chance for him.
Oh, no, I agree.
I think
we have created chances.
I think the big thing we're all missing, and myself included, is how did we start the previous game?
We were 2-0 down in the first.
Exactly. Do you think they were playing with an element of PTSD from that? Because shut it down, discipline, do not allow any Do not allow any silly soft goals, because you look at it, the manner in which we conceded those 2 goals against Palace, that was some of the softest defending I've ever seen. And the fact that we did it in the first 25 minutes, I think that's the sort of thing that the players have probably looked at and said, don't we dare ever start a game like that ever again? Because they were the sort of goals that a team scores against somebody when they're already 5-0 up and there's 5 minutes to play and the other team's given up. That's the manner in which we played. And I think if the team were going to go out and play like that again, I think the first thing we wanted to do was compromise a little and actually play a bit more disciplined, a little bit more controlled. It's at the risk of being a little bit more boring, but at least it's calculated, and at least it's shoring up at the back so that you have a better chance going forward later on. So at the end of the day, it's like, yes, okay, we can be a bit worried about it being boring, but you got to paint with a broader brush and just realize that, okay, there's been a lack of discipline. There's been some really, really, pointless errors made by some of our defense and some of our midfield. And I think we're just shoring that up a little bit. And the problem was, I think it was just, we're so worried about gung-ho and wanting to get on the front foot all the time that we just realized that sometimes just taking a step back and building up from the back after some questionable plays in last week's game made us shore things up a little bit more.
But we actually could have gone 1-0 down in the first half. I think they hit the post with the corner. So I think it wasn't too much different from Crystal Palace in that sense, because we got lucky.
It was. Crystal Palace should have been 3 up.
It was better, but I'm considering that how Pat said that we were trying to have a strategy that we don't concede goals in the start. So that's why we were that controlling.
Chances.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Alan does this. I want no chances created against us. I don't want them going into our box. I don't want them doing anything.
Yep. You want no chance. You want no chances, and
they've had 2 shots. So it is a football game.
If you want no challenges, then you need like the other team to have 2 red cards in the first 10 minutes.
You want them to play musical statues.
Yeah.
No, I agree. They had only 1 chance, but they could have scored from that 1 chance which they had. So it wasn't like a.
But again, coming back to what I said too, Dustmesh, it was like I felt like the only way they were going to score was either from a catastrophic defensive error from us or a set piece, and they nearly scored from a set piece. So, and you got to look at it too. We haven't necessarily been our best defensively on set pieces either. So I don't know if that's something that other teams are taking advantage of, or we're just not learning from our mistakes. So while it was good, it didn't come back and affect us. I think at the end of the day, you got to look at paint with a broader brush and just realize that, okay, it was a bit more, we had to be a bit more calculated and maybe compromise on that sort of gung-ho football. But at the end of the day, it meant that we shored up our defense and we righted all the wrongs that we did from last week.
Yeah, one good thing about defense, which I liked, was our constant centre-back pairing now, because we were switching it too many times. And I think Guardiola, if he plays as left-sided centre-back, like, I'm totally fine with it. He's playing great there. And if Nico O'Reilly plays like that on left back for this season especially, like, he can keep on playing there. And we need a constant defense, not just defense that is making clean sheets, but like a constant 4 people, because I don't think Kusanov deserves to be dropped as such. Like, it's just that this back 4 is working fine, so just keep them the same. Yeah.
Okay. And let's see it's people's opinions. I don't agree with Dashmash tonight. Normally agree. I don't agree with him at the moment. I never agree with Alan. I think Alan is the worst. Alan is the kind of person who it would be shining weather outside of 110 degrees, and Alan's got a rain mac on waiting for a rainstorm. I just don't know what
Mash,
always worst case scenario.
Mash, we spent basically the first 60 minutes, Martin and I, arguing on texting.
No, I didn't. I ignored you. I told you to stop texting you. I actually said stop texting me. Watch the game. Honestly, no, but listen, I actually, what was it? This is my thing was it brilliant? No. But I do think sometimes we forget there are 2 teams on a pitch. Everton did exactly what I thought they were going to do. Be stubborn, be brutal, and sit in and not move hardly. And that's exactly what they did. That's what David Moyes' football is.
Martin, do you think some fans were looking at it the same way we looked at United? They're looking at the position on the table.
Yeah.
They're looking at position on the table. If this was a David Moyes side that was always knocking on the door of Europe from previous years, we would be absolutely jumping out of our skins, rejoicing at that 2-0 win.
If that was a West Ham David Moyes, I think fans are looking at it very different. They're looking at Everton, and I don't mean you two, but I do mean Alan. I don't mean Dash Smash. But I'm telling you now, Alan, and I had this debate with Tone. Everyone looked at United 14th in the table and went 8-0. 8-0, thanks. We'll go home. They went to Everton because I did it. We saw it on Thursday, 3-0, 4-1. In fact, everyone was off. And it'll be the opposite on Tuesday night. Everyone will think Villa will smash us. Because people are not looking, they're looking at, it's like this belief that Everton, there was this thing going around that Everton, we've got this bad record against Everton. They haven't beaten us in nearly 10 years. And everyone's like, oh, well, we're not going to win. We're not in a position to win games 5-0 at the moment. Inside the 17-18 season, all I've heard lately is everyone wants to go back to playing football like the 17-18 season. We won a treble since then. Why is no one going back to the treble season? Why is everyone going back to a season where we didn't win a treble? If you want entertaining, go to the pictures. Just for me, the last time I checked, football was a results business. Go and watch WrestleMania if you want the old entertainment.
The pantomime, you mean?
Yeah. No, do you know something? I think there's... I think this season has played so many mind games on everyone. Because here's the thing, I had this debate with my mate today, and we were just having a laugh about it. And he went, you know, do you remember when we won, we got one win in 14? I went, but why aren't you talking about the 5 undefeated and the 4 wins in 5 at the minute? Well, what does that matter? That run between November and January has clouded everyone. It's clouded everyone. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been the calm influence all season.
Man, I can already see I can already see things happening. Like look at when we play Southampton away in a couple of weeks' time. If we only win that, say 2 or 3-0, but we cruise, like there's no concerns, no injuries, and that they'll go, oh, why didn't we score 7? Because they're looking at the bottom of the table again. They'll think, why didn't we score 7? We're not in a position to score 7.
Yeah,
it's because they're looking at the league table. That's what they think that a certain scoreline is justified.
See, people are going, we need Kosanov. Why? We've kept more clean sheets with the back line we've got right now than we have with anyone all season.
Correct.
So that's what I'm saying. Why are people wanting to change again? And this is where I'm confused. I don't think people fully know. I don't think they've got trust in anything anymore. Don't think they've got trust in Pep. They've not got trust in the team. They've not got trust in any formation. I don't think the trust is there right now.
I agree.
And everyone's panicking.
I admit. Can I ask you a question? Because
we're
playing Villa.
A sensible question.
All right. We're playing Villa on Tuesday night, who have got quite a bit of pace, especially in midfield. They're quite sharp, okay? Do you rest KDB and put more legs in midfield like Grealish, like you did last time, or not?
I'm not playing KDB Tuesday, anyway.
No, I wouldn't. I want legs in midfield.
Well, here's a thing for you. I mean, we have this debate. I had this debate with someone about Nico Gonzalez. You're not saying backwards, sideways. Well, wasn't Nico Gonzalez doing that a lot?
They all were, mate. It wasn't just it was the bloody forwards as well.
Nico Gonzalez gave the ball away a few times.
Oh, no, he did. Well, so did the
Everyone was telling me he was phenomenal.
Who?
That's what you told me. Nico Gonzalez was phenomenal. Is what I heard this morning. Man of the match, Tom told me.
Tone told me.
No, Tone told me Nico Gonzalez was man of the match. You told me he was sensational.
He's one of our best.
This morning.
He was one of the. He was.
But you just said he gave the ball away a lot. Which one is it?
One of the two. He gave it away only a few times. But the old mate, Nunes gave the ball away. Nunes gave the ball away about 20 times yesterday. He should never play in the season.
I was waiting for the deflection.
He should never ever. He should never play. He should never play in the City shirt ever again in my eyes.
He's a fucking tram driver.
It's the agendas. It's the agendas.
He's a tram driver. He is a tram driver.
It's like Ilkay Gundogan could do a man of the match performance and no one will give him credit.
Yeah.
It's what Bernardo Silva was not as bad yesterday, in my opinion, as what some have said, because I thought he worked his bollocks off all game. And he was running around doing everything he could. And people like he's garbage. It's because that's what is now. I don't know what it is. He's got to be PTSD.
Nunes will well put this way, Rashford will tear a new arsehole.
Have you seen Villa's away record?
I don't care. I feel they're a better. I think they're a better team than
you told me Newcastle were better than us. You told me Chelsea were better than us, and we slapped both of those. You told me it was going to be a tough game. We slapped them around.
I hope you're right. I really hope we have to win on Tuesday night.
Since January, you've got nothing right. Not one of your predictions has been right since January. Pat, am I waffling here? But seriously, is it PTSD in everyone at the minute?
Yeah, there's something that has happened at least on one occasion in this season that has caused people to just lose their freaking minds.
I don't know. Because if I said to you in December a 2-0 away win against Everton, you're all going, yeah, I'm having that.
Yep.
Now it's a bit shit. We're not looking at the win anymore. It's now we've got to win, but play 5-star football.
Because every other season when we've been pushing for titles, it's always been that, hasn't it?
When last season, when we had to win 9 in a row, we all said, not bothered about performances, just get the 9 wins and we'll win the title. What's changed?
Can we talk about Berry and get?
No, we'll come out to that. I'm on this. By the way, big up to Berry. FC.
Well done. Well,
the game was outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely superb. Yeah.
Go on, Smash.
You know what? I think what people are worried right now is just about not being in the top 5 at the end of the season, because people have given up for the league. They know that we were nowhere close to winning the league this season, but no one expected in start of the season that even if we don't win the league, we would definitely 100% be in the top 4 or top 5 playing in the Champions League next season. And seeing that we might not finish in the top 5 is actually what is worrying most of the people, and including me, because considering how Chelsea is playing, I am not sure Chelsea would make the top 5, but seeing how Villa is playing, how Newcastle is playing, there is a chance that we might not finish in the top 5, which I think we will, but still it's a chance. So I think that's what is worrying people, and that's what people are concerned, that even though we won this match without a great performance, we might not win the match against Villa without a good performance.
So if we beat Villa, is that going to start changing everyone?
Yes, I think that it would change.
No one's going to tell me it's Villa's poor away performance, is it? No one's going to tell me that. I need to know before we get rolling into Tuesday.
Not me especially, because I think
Alan will. Alan will blame the pitch. Villa had a dodgy lasagna on the way up. They got them. He'll blame Summer.
Against Villa, I don't care how we win. If we win 95th minute penalty and we won, I'll be very happy about it.
The Everton stuff then?
Because if we play like this against Villa, I don't think we will win the Villa game.
Say it. Pat, remind him again what you just said, because you looked at Everton's league position.
Looking at the league table.
No, not just about league position. It's about the players. Like the quality of Villa is so much better than the quality of Everton team. It's not just about position. Like if this Everton team was in 10th position, I would be same, because overall as a team, Villa is way better. They're in great form. Like they just defeated Newcastle, which were in excellent form before they lost yesterday or today, whatever, whenever the game was. So I think that's the worrying part, that a team which is in very good form, if we play like this, how we played against Everton, irrespective, we were playing any team. So I think we can't play like that.
Dash, at the moment, Villa are better than City.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm. Right now, he said right now in form, they are better than City.
Well, you want to talk about form? Based off the last 5 games, Everton had the 5th best form in the league.
By the way, quick question. Have Arsenal won at Everton?
Doesn't matter.
No.
No,
We're
doesn't
not
matter.
doing this. Did Liverpool win at Everton?
Like it's like saying if did they win against United or not? Like they won, all of those teams won against United. We couldn't defeat them once. Like it's just an example of one team.
Nobody wants to give us
can't
any
compare.
credit right now.
Oh no, we can't compare one team's result with others. Like we can't.
No, but I'm telling you, it's a hard place to go. That's the point I'm making.
No, I'm happy with the result. I'm just talking about the performance. Like I'm very happy with the result. We needed that win. It was very important. But I'm saying if we play this way against Villa, it would be very difficult to get a win. We need a better performance against Villa. Like that's my point. I am very happy.
I agree with this. This is factual. Yeah. Villa, we normally smash them at the Etihad and we get beat at Villa Park. When we seem to have this, the same what we do with Liverpool. We have this understanding.
I hope they are okay with that understanding as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I need to talk about this. I just need to
say, should we talk about the goal?
I need to talk about this man a minute, Pat.
Okay, please. Get him on a tram drive. Get him on a tram. Send him back to Wolves. Please, he's crap.
I just need to have a very long chat with Alan about this guy. I'm only joking. No, come on, Pat. Go to the goals, mate. Because the one thing I will say, I thought Doku did made a difference when he come on. Thought he was composed, and he was a lot.
Yeah, he did. If anything, the build up to the goal actually started, I think, with the Doku run down the left hand side. But I wanted to put some just give a little bit more credit to Nico O'Reilly in terms of the way he scored that goal. First of all, if you look at his arrival in the box, it kind of reminded me of like prime Ilkay Gundogan. Just the movement into the box and arriving at the right time to receive the ball, the cross in from out on the wing. If you go back and actually have a look, the way he sort of reads the defense in front of him as he's arriving in the 18-yard box, you have a look at sort of before he decides to make his run. He's monitoring every defender in front of him, looking to see if any of them have sort of picked up his movement. And of all the defenders that are in the box for Everton, the one that seems to not really pay much attention to where he is or the players around him is Michael Keane. And if you have a look, the entire time, the build up to that play as Nico O'Reilly's arriving in the box, Michael Keane's basically got his number 5 pointing straight at the camera. That's the TV camera you're watching the footage from. The only time he ever looks in any direction other than straight ahead or at his own goal, he does just the occasional slight little head turn to the right. But from the way he turns his head, doesn't look any more than he's looking back towards, like, say, where the touchline is, like where David Moyes is and where the bench is. So he's not paying much attention at all to who's arriving in the box in front of him. And if you look at it, by the time that ball is released by Mateus Nunes, Michael Keane still has absolutely no idea that Nico O'Reilly's there. And if you actually have a look at the finish, he doesn't realize he's there until the ball's hit the back of the net. And I think that's the sort of thing from a player like Nico O'Reilly to be reading plays like that at such a young age. That's huge. That shows a huge amount of football intelligence. You kind of you look at it and you're like, you wonder if maybe this is the sort of thing he's learning from those in front of him. So like your Gundogan's and that, who was just an absolute master at that when he was, when he could play, prime football basically. So they're just the little things that, you know, it's one thing when you see a player do it, but when you see an academy player doing it, you just think like this kid's got is coming on in leaps and bounds and really taking his opportunities by the scruff of the neck. And you just go back and look at it. Like, it's a good goal. It's a scrappy sort of goal. It's the sort of goal that suited the sort of performance that we played. But the manner in which he went about scoring that goal is absolutely fantastic. And to do it at 18 years of age just shows he's just got such a good head on his shoulders.
Well, you know, it's only as good because he's had the chances to play, which we all said, apart from one person.
No, I didn't see. You didn't listen to what I said. What
Martin,
did I say?
You didn't want him anywhere near the first team. It's a fact.
At the time, no. What I said was, yes, I did. I didn't think it was. I think it was the wrong time. Do you know why?
Why?
Because what you're doing with O'Reilly now, you did with Phil Foden, you did with Rico Lewis. Now you want them all gone.
No.
So when O'Reilly at the moment is doing a very, very good job at left back. And he's doing superbly.
Yep.
My issue with O'Reilly is the summer and beyond. Because if this rebuild takes off like we all think, where does he get?
Where does he stand in that pecking order?
Well, I don't want him to be
That's the problem.
I don't want it to be another Cole
No,
Palmer.
but Alan, this is what gets me, and I understand it. You're somebody who wants the 11 young Mancs in the team. I get it. But if those 11 young
There's
Mancs
nothing wrong with
don't
that.
win the league, which there is nothing wrong with that at all, and it's quite admirable. But if those 11 Mancs don't win the league and they finish 6th or 7th or 8th, you will have a meltdown. What you want, this is what fans want. They want youngsters, they want new signings, and now they don't want half the squad to leave again. So we've now got to make a 55-man squad for the summer. Yesterday, another example, Diego Costa, that everybody's wanted for 6 months. The news breaks that we're going to go and sort the deal out. It's shit. Get him out. Have you seen it? He's a bag of crap.
Well, I'm a Trafford fan, so.
What? Trafford Centre?
No, you pudding. Fucking Trafford's playing at Burnley at the moment. I think we should go and get him.
Maybe. No, listen, Nico O'Reilly was superb. And him and Nunes were the two best players for Manchester City yesterday. And O'Reilly has been a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
do you know why he works at left back? Because he can invert into the midfield. That's why he works. Putting him, because when he was in midfield in the pre-season, and by the way, me and Pat were there, we saw it live, he was not doing what he's doing now.
He showed glimpses of it, but he wasn't on the regular. Not on the regular.
Yeah, he had glimpses. But what he's doing now is more mature. It's more. It's like you can tell he's been trained under Pep. He moves the ball with a smoothness. He's still got those raw things about him, but you get that from a youngster. But the problem is we never allowed Rico Lewis this. Rico Lewis got hung, drawn, and quartered. Tone is selling him for £3 million in the summer.
No.
And that's my thing with the youngsters. Youngsters are only good until something better goes along or they balls up. That's when the youngsters come out of favour. Simpson Poozy, another. McAtee, another. When there's a new shiny toy, back in the closet they go. I've no problem with the youngsters. Just choose A or B. If you want O'Reilly in midfield, don't sign a midfielder then. On it. Someone said that to me, Echeverri and O'Reilly. Brilliant. I'll go with that. It's exciting. It's youthful. But don't dare come at me in January saying we didn't buy a midfielder. But they're all stumming this because they're all like, yeah.
Martin, you said O'Reilly. You said O'Reilly. Hang on. You said about O'Reilly. It's like watching a deer with in headlights with him
in midfield. Because that's what. Because I watched him at Ipswich. He came on when we were 4 or 5-0 up, and he got all giddy, and he went running, and he didn't know what to do with it.
He did look out of place. We all
said it. At left back, phenomenal.
The other thing that stood out for O'Reilly yesterday too was he actually had a really good game defensively as well.
Yeah, he did.
Made some very good interceptions as well too.
I know he did, Ron. I was there, mate, alongside you. Me and Pat went, but Peroni scored in pre-season. That's why I don't look at pre-season that much.
Conway's reaction over Costa. You should see Martin's reaction when he has a Costa.
Costa go
left on bad terms. Trafford ain't coming back. I think Newcastle will be the guy. I mean, listen, I won't mind it, but I think Newcastle will be the place he'll end up.
Yeah.
Chevalier looks like PSG. He wants to stay in Paris, France. It looks like, because I think you'll get the French number one being at PSG.
So does that mean PSG are going to part ways with Donnarumma?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, Bron Breaker, never hated him. 2 years, mate. See, people listen to react, not to respond. I never said I hated him. Said he wasn't ready for the midfield. Massive difference. He's not playing midfield, he's playing left back, and he has been exceptional. And not only that, we moved Gavardiol into left centre back, who's been amazing. And Diaz looks happier again.
What you've really done is you found a player who can play that inverted role and does it well, and also to take a bit of workload off Gavardiol as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a difference between inverting in midfield and being in midfield direct left, Brom. 1-on-1, mate. PSG, well, they are after Chevalier, mate. So you need to forget Chevalier. Never done that one. Big up Martin and panel, gent. Bruges 5-0. You love your Bruges. Martin, trust the youngster. Trust the youngest. So do you not want to make signings then?
Just on that keeper thing, like, don't you think that considering that if Ederson goes, whosoever comes in would be the number one keeper for Man City? If we go after any of those goalkeepers who are also targeted by other clubs, wouldn't they want to choose Man City over PSG?
No, not everyone looks at City as the number one club.
No, PSG.
It comes down to politics of the game as well, too, Dashmesh. So, like, I think, for example, if Chevalier became first choice, say, at Manchester City, he may not get as much as a look in if he was, say, playing at PSG. It's the same way how a lot of people believe that German players, if they want to get selected for the national team, they're better chances of if they play at Bayern Munich. If you keep it domestic, they're more likely to be called up for internationals. It's just the way things work.
PSG will win the Champions League this year.
Yeah, they definitely could, and I would like them to.
Yeah,
because I don't want Arsenal to win. So,
well, it's weird because I've never been a fan of PSG for so many years. Just that whole Galacticos without the honors, basically, sort of thing. Like, they just kept going for a big team of individuals. And now they've actually, it appears as though the front office has actually decided to listen to the manager in terms of Luis Enrique. They've made good signings and they play good football. Yeah, and they in my opinion, they actually are probably the front at the moment, or one of the front to win the Champions League. If they do, I'll applaud them for it, because they've actually gone against everything that they've done for the last 10 or 15 years, where they just keep going. Galactico's team of individuals, and they wonder why they never got further than, say, quarterfinals every single season of the Champions League, because you can't win the Champions League that way. They've actually got a good squad, and they've got the right pieces with a good manager.
There's often a little bit of politics in certain deals. Like it's like the Kushinoff. Kushinoff was all going to Newcastle until Juma Bar came. People think we bought Kushinoff and then Juma Bar was separate. Juma Bar was done at the same time because we were allowed to get Kushinoff, and the price we got him at, because we were going to let them have Juma Bar and loan. These are the things. Agents, people don't see any of this in deals. They just see players been linked, bid goes in, signed. There's a lot more to a deal than anyone ever realizes.
Man, just like I said on Dapster's show a few hours ago, said there's people saying like, oh, we need to sell Bernardo, or like, you know, if he wants to go to Benfica, let him go. It's like, you don't understand. It's like he's on £300,000. He's on £300,000 a week. The highest wage of any player in the current Benfica squad is Renato Sanchez. He's on less than 120k a week. That's in pounds. You're not going to be able to offload a player like that unless we're willing to shell out the remainder of his contract to make sure he goes there. We've done that before with Otamendi. We're not going to do it again, and it's certainly not at that sort of scale. For for the extra whatever it is, £180,000 or whatever it is you have to pay, I'd rather keep him on the bench and look at signing somebody else.
Yeah.
There's way more to it than just saying like transfer fee or release clause, pay it.
Yeah.
Like you've got the wage is a huge factor.
Well, let me just put it here. Verts and Reinders. Problem is, you've got Lakshmi. Alonso's going to go into Madrid. Do you not think Verts will want to go to Madrid with Alonso? He's not a City fan. Verts is not a City fan. Said this to many people, we can't hijack them, put them in the boot of the car and kidnap them and make them play better. The player gets to say.
If that's the case, Martin, then people will be more looking towards like, well, hang on a sec. If Verts is going to go with Alonso to Real Madrid, then that's going to put a few more of their midfielders down the pecking order. And then you might be saying, oh, well, we don't get Verts, but then why don't we look at Camavinga or Valverde or something like that? You know, like very, very ambitious to try and sign them, take them away from. Sorry?
Valverde isn't going anywhere.
Exactly. No, but I'm using them as examples. It's like it's the same way. Like, you know, if he goes to Bayern, I don't necessarily know if we'd be able to buy anyone from Bayern. But the thing is, they've got aging midfield that needs to go out the door as well too. So, I don't know. It's just this is going to be an interesting summer. Not just necessarily what we do, but what sort of pieces are going to fall around Europe as well too. There's going to be a lot going on.
This is the thing, because everyone's going, this is my bet I don't get is, everyone wants Verts and Reinders, then they want O'Reilly. O'Reilly's not in Verts and Reinders levels. And then you're saying to O'Reilly, because everyone in their mind thinks Bernardo's going, Kovacic is going, Gundogan's going, Nunes is going. I'm telling you now, Gundo ain't going nowhere. Gundo's staying. Do you think he's playing him every single game when he's after the contract extension because he's planning on getting rid? Have you seen the comments on Nunes at the minute? I'm sorry, Alan. I'm with Daps. You may want him gone. I would agree. I would sell him. Don't think the club are going to do.
Oh, please, no.
You're not getting this 12-man clear out you all think you're getting.
We are signing a right back, though, right? We need a right back.
Yeah, I think we'll sign it.
Martin, I will fly over from Melbourne, Australia.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I'll fly over from Melbourne, Australia.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
And I will personally drive him to the airport of Manchester and put him on a fucking flight.
No, you won't, Alan. Just flying to Tassie is too much. Is an effort for you.
Listen, I would, if you think, listen, I want Verts, I want Reinders, I want to do the FIFA stuff, I want him. But A, it's not the way the club do business. B, you got to get, the reason KDB is going is because he's a free.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva is not a free.
And we need to hire for the next 10 years. There's no point just doing it for 1
Yeah.
year.
You've just bought Echeverri, by the way. People want Echeverri in the team, but they want O'Reilly in now. So where's Echeverri? What's happening with Phil Foden, by the way? Are you ditching him out? Is he just going out to the back? Is he going in a wardrobe?
It's in the right place at the moment, and that's on the bench.
Yeah, and that's where Cole Palmer would be if he was at City on the bench, because he's still on milk cartons. No, but this is the problem. People, if you put 1,000 people in a room, you'll get 990 different opinions. That's the truth of it. We're never going to agree. We have to. We can all have a debate, a very good debate, and we can have a healthy debate. We're never all going to agree.
But I think we actually really need a strong midfielder this season, like a new strong midfielder, creative midfielder.
Who would you have then? I mean, think about it. You look at the Everton game. We said Kovacic made a difference when he come on. So why are we selling him?
Because we need upgrades.
Then that's a very, very, and I totally agree with you. 100% I agree with you. So who would you get though? Because remember, Kovacic didn't start; he came off the bench.
Yeah, but if we had a better player, I don't think. What was our
Nico
midfield?
dropped the bench.
No, Nico, but
Oh,
I
Rodri's
wouldn't
back.
have. No, I wouldn't have played Gundogan. I would have played someone else to start alongside KDB, and next season KDB is in there. So automatically, whosoever comes in, it starts over KDB. So
No, totally agree. But there was no Foden. There was no Rodri. He's back. They're looking at Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't know why Morgan Gibbs-White's treating everyone.
I
That's
think
really
Nico.
treating everyone.
Yeah, I think Nico Gonzalez would be the substitute or like backup for Rodri, because obviously Rodri would be starting game in, game out. And I think, you know what we need? We need that 5 or 6 player midfield whom we can rotate, because when we were best winning Premier Leagues after Premier Leagues, we didn't had 22 men squad, but we actually had good 16 players. So we need those 16 players who are very good. And if we rotate any of those players, no one would moan. Like you were saying that no one is happy with any lineup. I think we need that kind of a lineup, that whatever lineup we put in, everyone is happy. So let's say we have Nico Gonzalez, Rodri, Foden. Let's say still Gundogan is there, one new midfielder, and let's say Echeverry, but he's now playing well. Imagine that. So we have 6 players. So we can rotate. Maybe in one game, Nico, Rodri, and Foden might play. In one game, Rodri, Foden, and another midfielder might play, like the new midfielder. So we can rotate like that, because next season again there are so many games, there might be injuries, so we can't expect everyone that they would stay fit and we would have all those players available whole season. So we need, like in my opinion, we need a proper new midfielder as well if KDB goes, and he's going.
But like Fier's put, and I want to get your opinion on this, to get KDB go and keep Bernardo is sacrilegious to me. But you got to remember, Fee, one's out of contract, one's still one you need money on.
Correct.
You can't cancel a contract. Well, you can, but it costs you a lot of money.
Correct.
And I think on KDB, we just have to
get used to it, Fee, because that is happening. KDB's going. End of story.
Yeah, we just have to forget about that situation now. He's going, it's decided. Like he has been my favorite player and he's going. I'm very sad about it, but there's no coming back from this decision, I think.
We have to look forward. We have to look forward, Dash. We have to look forward, Fee. We've got to sign someone, hopefully, for the next 10 years. It's no good thinking we can get one more year out of him. What happens if we do that? He's on 400 grand a week and suddenly he breaks down first game. Please, we have to go forward. We have to move on.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not right. By the way, this is not me. I'm not saying me. People are getting confused on the me. I'm talking from a club's point of view.
And
you need a buyer for these players under contract.
And on the new midfielder, I am in that camp who says we really need Wirtz. And what my thinking about that deal is, see,
But
last
Verse might say, no, I don't want to go to Bayern Munich.
no, then it's fine. No, then it's fine. No, then it's fine. I am saying we need to be 100% in for us being ready to make that deal. If he chooses not to be here, then we'll think about the next midfielder. But if there's a 10% chance that he can choose City, we have to go 100% try to make that deal happen, because I think he would be great for Man City. And to be honest, this is one of those deals in which I don't mind paying extra if we need to pay extra for him. But if he can come to City, I just want to go full into the deal, because the last two deals which people are worried about, I think Martin is also worried about. We went for Bellingham, we didn't get him. We went for Rice, we didn't get him. But with Rice, I think we didn't go full in that deal. We tried to sign him, but we were like, okay, if Arsenal signs him, we don't care. So I think at the end that was the tone which Man City had with that deal. They tried, but they didn't actually try very hard. So with Wirtz, I just want to go full in like we went for Haaland. And if he's ready to join City, it's great. If not, then we go in hard for some other player. I think that is my opinion on that.
Could you say we've got just over 100 watching, and only half of you have pressed the like button? Can we have some people pressing the like button, please? Because it helps the channel and promotes the channel.
And by the way, I think this is where you're a bit. I think you're misunderstanding me, Lakshmi. I agree with you. I would love Wirtz and I want Reinders, but the trouble is, you can't, mate. I keep saying you can't force Wirtz here, mate. You can't force him. The same way we couldn't force Bellingham. The same way we couldn't force Rice. It's not, and it's like the Morgan Gibbs-White stuff. These people think he's the number 10. Morgan Gibbs-White will be the number 8 if he comes in.
Yeah.
And they're not going to pay 100 mil. It's not Morgan Gibbs-White and nobody else. It's Morgan Gibbs-White plus maybe one or maybe even another. It may be Reinders, but listen, I pray it is Wirtz, but it may not be. That's all I'm saying.
It's just that City has to make the decision quick that if Wirtz would be possible or not. If City thinks that he might not be possible, then just leave that deal and try to sign the next best option.
I think you'll probably know near enough.
End of Club World Cup?
No, I think you'll know before then. I think you'll say, because has it been officially announced now about Ancelotti? Because I know it's starting to get real big. I know people are starting to know.
It will be done. It will be done.
Yeah, I think if when Alonso waltzes in there, I'm sorry, Wirtz is going with him.
Correct. I agree with you.
And that's just because and you're not going to like this. Real Madrid is a pull for someone like Wirtz. In Manchester City, we look at Manchester City like we expect fans to look at City like we do. And they don't. It's a job.
No, if Real Madrid push for Wirtz, they will get him. But I don't think.
It's a job.
I don't think he would he should he might, but I don't think he should prefer Bayern over City. But I think he will definitely prefer Real Madrid over City, definitely, especially if Alonso goes there.
Listen, and we'll throw everything we can. As Al said, we've done the meetings, we've done everything. If he says no, he says no. A little thing people don't realise is, yes, I know we're going to be fine, but there is 115. Until that is, I know we can all go, yeah, club's fine, it's not a problem, everything's hunky-dory. 100%, yes, I think City will get cleared, but Wirtz doesn't know that. Wirtz isn't going to walk in the door, sign a 5-year deal, and then we're off down to the League One. Because I can tell you now, that was one issue with Bellingham. Bellingham had that issue.
Got to get rid of 115 before we do anything.
I know LB says this, give him a release clause. It's not what City do.
No.
City don't
And
do that.
we've got to get rid of 115 sooner rather than later, please.
But, I mean, the one thing I will say, Pat, you all right, mate? I know you had to dash. You all right?
Yeah, good.
Man of the match sat there. Because I'm giving it to Nunes and O'Reilly. I'm splitting it. Because I can't split the two. I can't split between Nunes and O'Reilly.
I noticed. I think that EA Sports Premier League, whatever man of match was given to Gundogan. I thought he was good, but not that good. I don't know. I just thought for me across the board, I think Nico O'Reilly was the most consistent on pitch because he did.
Alan's going off the camera because he's not having it.
Yeah, Nico O'Reilly, and I think Nunes deserves a mention, but yeah, I'd give it to Nico O'Reilly. I just thought he looked so consistent across the board.
Well, what did you think Nunes did wrong? What did he do anything wrong?
Well, it's not that I don't think he did anything wrong. I just think consistently over the course of 90 minutes, I thought Nico O'Reilly just had a slightly better game.
Correct, Nico O'Reilly all day long.
I agree. Nico O'Reilly for me as well.
Thank you. We all agree.
Can I change mine to Nunes?
Oh, I gave it to both. No, Alan, I'm sorry. You are agenda-driven tonight. You are
every bloody night.
Nunes was good, mate, and you just have to accept it. Alan, you can run away off camera all day long. He was good.
You know who's our second most assister this season?
If it's up to Pep, he stays.
Pep freely admitted in a press conference that he couldn't play in midfield, which he was bought for.
Yes, in midfield. But are you watching him at right back? He's doing everything he should do in midfield, but at right back. But he's doing it bloody well.
We're signing Cambiasso, who's going to be our first choice.
Yeah, mate, he's also a left back. He can go left back.
No, Cambiasso.
He can play in midfield too.
Yeah, he's
how many midfielders are we getting? 100, 101, 102. We'll keep going. Just need
how many transfer rumours are we at now, Martin? Sorry, Alan. It was 76 last week. You must have it must be about 125 by now.
Big up to Julie, by the way, renewing.
We've signed that many players since January 1.
Yeah, Julie.
We're in the 80s. We're in the 80s. There's about 80 players.
Julie has donated 2 years here. And also, DB has gifted 5 memberships. So big up DB. If you did get one, say thank you, Alan, to DB.
Thanks, DB. You're a legend.
That's it. I like that. Anyway, so anyone else? You're all going O'Reilly for man of the match?
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Honourable mention for Nunes as well.
KDB has caused some uproar in the fan base in the last 24 to 48 hours. Well, everyone's gone sentimental FC again.
God.
Alan, would you keep KDB? Do you believe this? By the way, he said a comment, it was a business decision. That doesn't mean anything. That just means it was about money in a business. Doesn't mean that we said no. He could have said no. We don't know any of them details. So all this crap coming out of the club did him dirty. The club treated him badly. You know, like everyone says to me all through the season, we're not Pep FC, we're Manchester City FC. Here's my response right now. We're not KDB FC, we're Manchester City FC.
So what are you saying? You're asking me, should we keep KDB or not?
Would you keep KDB? No. You were not going to do, because some of the stuff I've heard about this KDB is nonsense.
Listen,
Really is.
let me explain. KDB's 33, nearly 34, correct?
Yep.
So he's on his downward slope, big time. In the last 4 years, he's had a lot of injuries. The last hamstring injury he had, which he had the operation to get after the Burnley game, was a big one. It kept him out a long, long time. Okay. When you have a torn hamstring and it's that big of an injury, you cannot be as sharp as he was when he was 25. Impossible. Right? Since you have to make a decision, he's on 400 grand a week. Have to make a decision. Do we sign someone for an extra year and just hope a good midfielder comes available for the year after? Or do we go out and say, KDB, see you later, go and play in America and earn some money, or Saudi and earn some money at the end of your career, and we go and try and find a midfielder for the next 10 years? Right? When we said, I had the same reaction when David Silva left City. I cried when he left because he's my favourite ever player, big time. I love him. I still do. And I'll still love KDB when he's gone, because he has took us right to the top of European football. And it's a fact, he has. And you can don't come to me and say, oh, he got injured in the final. He played in all the other games, and we all know he did. So
he got us there on one leg, Alan, basically, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And he played the final as well.
KDB is right up there with David Silva, Yaya Toure, Sergio Aguero, Vincent Kompany, all day long, and he'll be a legend till as long as Man City's still alive. But we have to let him go. We have to, and we have to move on. And Pep's job, particularly, and this new sporting director, is to create a new side that's going to be competitive and hopefully to win titles. Because that's what they. That's what they. Yeah, well, that includes the kids, mate, to create a side. But the biggest, the biggest hurdle we've got as a fan base and a club, and we've got, and Martin touched on it before, is the 115. We have to get rid of it. And until we do that, we can't move forward. I'm sorry, we can't. So everyone should calm down about KDB. He's part of our history. It's a good history as well. And we should be grateful we've actually seen him play for City.
It's not that. It's the calling out the club over there.
Oh, well, that's pathetic.
You don't understand it.
Who's
the
doing
club
that?
have done it.
Is that social media or is that the media? And we all know what my thoughts are.
City fans. No, this is actually City fans.
Well, they want to take a big head wobble and go down to Old Trafford and watch
like
that
how fair.
Yeah, some
who's leaving. I'd rather KDB stay for off the bench. KDB doesn't want to be on the bench, Alf. This is what everyone's not getting. KDB's comments was, I've still got a lot in the tank at the top level. That's not off the bench, Alf. KDB doesn't want to play off the bench.
No. He'll go to America. I think he's got 18 months left playing football before he retires, because his legs are fucked. They are.
Alan, the MLS season is calendar year. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes 6 months off after this season and then goes to an MLS team in the new year. Yeah, and that maybe that's 6 months of just not playing and maybe just keeping light training or something like that until something comes up might actually give him a bit more longevity. So he's whatever decision he makes, he'll do it with the intentions of what's best for his family and what's going to create longevity for his career as well too. And I think MLS is probably, the more and more rumors we hear about more and more MLS teams coming in being interested in him, I think it's more likely he's going to go there.
At the end of the day, I put him in the David Silva category. He was my favourite ever player. I was emotional when he left. I think we all were, to be fair.
But he's right. It hurts. But Dashmash, did you do this over David Silva? Did you beg for Sergio to stay? Did you beg for Vinny to stay?
No, and I'm not begging for KDB to stay as well. And
No,
yeah,
I'm not meaning. I'm meaning
yeah.
more because that's the point. Why? Because I'm being honest with you. KDB and David Silva does not like an acre apart of people here.
Like as Alan
They're
is
like
saying,
that in
yeah,
terms of
yeah, yeah.
like who's the greatest.
Yeah, for Alan, Silva is above for me.
Yeah,
For
it
me,
is for me.
KDB is
I'm David
above.
Silva.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
The greatest
The-
ever
the-
is a subjective opinion.
It is.
Yeah.
But I think you all agree. Including you, the players of the best: David Silva, KDB, yeah, Sergio Aguero, Vincent Company for different reasons. Yeah, are all up there as our greats of the last 15 years. They're our greats, and to me, they're all there and to be bowed at, as far as I'm concerned, because of the superb players. Superb players. Hopefully, Phil Foden will get to that if he gets his form back.
Yeah,
Erling Haaland will get up there for different reasons for scoring up goals. All right, because I had a debate the other night with a few people at the pub.
I think a lot of fans are talking about KDB because for the last 2 games he has played all right after announcing that he would be leaving. I think that is one of those reasons, and also his
Look, listen, look at the last 2 years and his injury record.
yeah, I agree. I agree. He should go.
Can't
Like
afford it. It's
yeah,
like John Stones. I regard John Stones as probably one of our best ever
he
centre
should go
halves.
as well. He should go as well.
Yeah. Is he going to hurt? Yes, it is. Because when he's fit, he's our best defender by a long way. For me, by a long way. Will it hurt when if he goes and plays for somebody else? Yes, of course he will. But we can't pay someone X amount of money a week, right, to play 15% of the games. We can't.
I mean, people have said 150 grand a week. KDB was never wanting to stay for 150 grand a week. Do you believe that, Pat? That's a 60% drop in wage.
No. He's going to want to be looking to get as close as the 400k he's currently on.
And I think people are also worried that he can go to a big club, like not go to MLS directly, might play for another European club for a couple of seasons, then go to MLS.
He won't play in England. I'll tell you that now.
Yes,
he will not play. He will not play for a club in England against City. I'm telling you.
I actually see him if like I don't think he will go to like the big rivals, but I think like and I would also not mind if he goes to a club like Villa, a club like Newcastle. I think he can still play at that level at that clubs. I think, but and I don't mind either because to me he would be still a legend and he would be my favorite player then as well. So I don't actually mind, but I don't think he would go to any other Premier League clubs like our rival clubs. So I think it's fine. But I think he can still play in Europe. It's up to him if he wants to stay in Europe or go to MLS now. But I think that's what a lot of people are worried about, that he can be playing for some other big club next season and he's not playing
I,
for City. I think
I
that's the
would
big
like.
thing.
I would like him to stay within the group and play at New York City, but all the rumors.
I think that will have already been announced. You know, Alan. I think if he was staying in the CFJ, because me and Pat spoke about this privately, didn't we, Pat? We said we thought he'd have stayed. If he was going to New York, surely that would have been announced at the stage when they said he was leaving.
The only thing is, Martin, again, calendar year. The only thing is, though, calendar year, because if he signs at New York City, then they've got till the end of this year to announce that. So it doesn't necessarily matter. I still think he will go to New York because I think a huge selling point for sorry.
Yeah, you told me on the phone you thought he wasn't.
I've stuck with him, the idea of him going to New York, because I think he would be a huge selling point to get people in to their new ground, which opens in 2027, that Etihad Park out in Queens. I think that's going to be huge. And also too, think of it this way as well. What's the MLS? What's the American Football Federation, whatever they're called? what are they going to want to do once the caravan packs up and the World Cup leaves in 2026? They're still going to want to be able to bring marquee players in. And if they can have Kevin De Bruyne playing in the MLS after the World Cup's been packed up, then that's a huge publicity for them as well. But I want to believe, I want to think that it would New York would make sense for him, because I just think it would be an easy adjustment given what his wife does, working in fashion and things like that. And the kids, I think they would settle in. Good one, Steve.
DC's changed. DC has agreed with Alan 4 times tonight.
Oh,
I'm telling you, Pat, can you knock on the bedroom wall and just make sure DC's all right? Just knock on the wall. So, you all right, love? You know what I mean? By the way, anyone who's new, that's a long-standing joke that DC will laugh at. Yusuf, here he comes. He'll come to... Will you go and celebrate your title win? Sod off you. Congratulations.
I just think...
Again.
And New York would be easy for him. I just think it just makes more sense.
But that's
for him. I just think it'd be an easy adjustment.
I know who was it who said that? Which report? What's his name? Famous one. Well known. Can't think of his name. His name's gone out my head. But he did say he would have signed at the same terms, 400 grand a week. 400 grand a week.
To play 20% games. To play 20% of the games.
And by the way, KDB is not sitting on the bench. People have got this belief that KDB is going, I'll just sit on this bench, lads. It's all right.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to do that.
I don't get it. Echimesi, we've already established he's not playing because we can't get O'Reilly in the team because everyone signed 3 other midfielders. You stop agreeing with Alan. Would I sign Morgan Gibbs-White for 90 million? It's not my money, but I think Morgan Gibbs-White will sign anyway.
Yeah, but Woody, are you saying that because you intend to have Gibbs-White as the KDB replacement? That's not what. If anything, Gibbs-White's going to eventually be the Bernardo replacement.
Can I just ask Lil J a question? Can you find me the quote that says he would have taken a pay cut? The only tweet that's come out about a pay cut was about Manchester City offering him a pay cut.
Martin, if we sign Verts, all this will go away with KDB. Trust me. Yeah, it will all go. It will all go away because if we sign Verts and KDB walks out the door, everyone will shake his hand and say, "Thanks for playing for us. You've been brilliant. Bye bye."
Oh, Alan, that's fine in that, but I think the problem with some of the fan base is, and this probably includes myself, Martin, Dash, everybody else. The thing that terrifies us the most is with Verts is, are we going to be stuck in another situation like we were with Bellingham and Rice, where it took up too long in the transfer window, and before you knew it, we were stuck trying to find our plan Bs and plan Cs, and ended up not quite getting the players that were going to suit what Pep wanted to play for that upcoming season. So I think the crucial thing is like, okay, as long as we've got to accept it, the ship sailed now. Kevin De Bruyne's out the door. We know it. It's been announced. It's done. Yeah. I think the club just needs to make executive decisions now based on if they want a certain player, they basically have to state their intentions from the get-go. And if they don't get them by a certain cutoff day, and I don't mean like a week before the transfer window closes, then no, it needs to be done quick. It needs to be done fast, because why bother wasting a summer on a player that never wants to come anyway, when you could be focusing your retirement and resources on somebody else who actually wants to come, or you rather than not getting your plan A, not being getting the one player you want, then being a bit more savvy in the market, trying to find 2 or 3 players that can do just as good a job. So
I totally agree with you. That's down to the closing of the sporting directors. They've got to close harder. You got to cover, and if you
I think that's why
yes,
Cheeky's staying on. I think that's why Cheeky's staying on, mate.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I've got an update on that. I got a message that I did break on the space last today. The Diego Costa stuff is true. Miana's going out to Portugal to sort that out. And Cheeky, he's got a meeting at a certain East Midlands club coming up. Because a certain MGW is desperate to come to Manchester City Football Club.
Wow.
If the fee is acceptable, he will be a City player for me, Morgan Gibbs White. If it won't be 100 million, City are not going to pay 100. So that people need to calm down on that.
I think what we need to do
And
is
he's
we need to look at certain pieces falling in certain places. So, like, yes, if Forest do drop out of the top 5, then I think our business of being able to get more Gibbs White will be a lot easier, not just in terms of negotiations, but also the price as well too. Another one too, and I think people need to mention this as well, is we need Leeds to get promoted, because I think if they do, then I'm pretty certain that they'll take on Calvin Phillips's wages, even if it's just for 1 year, or if it's for a year with an obligation to buy. I think they'll have him back.
Yep, I think so as well.
You wouldn't do, Judge, because, right, Judge, in all seriousness, how many times have you watched Gibbs White play, and how many times have you watched Nine Pan play?
At the end of the day, it's not.
Alan uses a night pen.
I'm watching YouTube clips, don't care. Come on.
Alan uses a night pen.
How fat was that thing? Was that your thumb in your middle finger? Do that again. God,
cook your snacks before you eat them, mate.
You've got stumpy fingers, haven't you?
Bloody milky muscles. Look at him.
Why can't people send if youth is going off there old enough? No, people do understand that, but it's not your choice. Right? You can disagree. Listen, fans can debate, but fans have to realise we don't choose the transfers, people. Don't all fall out over it.
It's all pure speculation.
It's not going to stop the deal. Oh my God! Because the thing is, it makes me laugh. KDB. People have heard a KDB quote and jumped with it, and all he said was it was a business decision. It means nothing. It could mean anything. That it's because the club is on a negative with the fan base at the minute. Everyone's immediately gone to attack the fan base. I will say this again for the people who just joined. And I do appreciate John. Thank you very much. Legends. But I got told Pep Guardiola is not bigger than City. Neither is KDB. We have 3 statues. Well, 4. No, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 statues at the club. That's a quiz question, that.
It's a good trivia. I was just about to say that. It's good. Yeah.
Name me the 7 statues. Go on, Alan. No, in fact, we'll do one each. Go on, Alan. You give me the first one.
Trautmann.
We got the difficult one out of the way.
Yeah, I got the one you think I wouldn't know. Yeah, Trautmann.
The problem is you've mentioned it several times on previous shows, mate. So
I know. Trautmann's the number 1.
An elephant never forgets.
Yeah.
You were hoping not with those fingers. Not with those fingers, he does.
No. You got any more for his milky muscles?
We found the Milky Bar kid. He went to Melbourne.
Yeah, there's plenty of muscles in these fingers.
Alan, do you think that if you complain hard enough, you start to get a tan?
Why does Mark know as defend the club? Are you being paid? It's called being a fan, mate.
Martin, Alan thinks if you complain enough, you get a tan. So in his mind, he should look like Jeremy Doku.
Jeremy Doku, the goal. I'm going to say this. I defended the club in League One. I'm going to defend him. Come on, stop. You back your club, good, bad, or indifferent. And do you know why I back them, mate? Because what I say means nothing. Not literally. It means nothing to Manchester City Football Club.
They're not hanging on it. They're not hanging on it. Martin's every word.
Like Guardiola's not sat there watching LB and Big Steve and me writing notes out. Hamza said, buy this player. Big Steve said, sign that player. LB said he wants that player. Martin said he wants that player, and Alan said Nunes.
We all
is
know
shit.
why you want a
Yeah,
certain player
but-
because you want a certain coffee place to bloody sponsor this show.
Yeah.
If we sign Costa, I know what you're going to do. You're going to buy all 3 goalkeeper kits and you'll wear them back to front with Costa on the front. So,
By the way, BB's spot on here.
Sponsor me, sponsor me.
Whoever we get in, we have to give them a fair crack. I totally agree with you. We can constructively criticise them, but the abuse on Morgan Gibbs White is quite nasty at the minute.
Yeah.
And I heard someone called him an English bum. Let's not be that fan base. That's slightly xenophobic when we do that. Because if poor Alan down there called Doku a bum, you'd all go mad.
Or a Belgian bum.
Yeah. Alan, you don't help. You don't help.
Yeah, headless chicken. He's
You
an
don't
headless
help,
chicken. He's an headless chicken. Get Hamza on. Get Hamza on. We'd have about 1,000 players within 2 weeks if Hamza was here.
Damash, where are you with this KDB stuff?
Yeah, I'm fine. Like, I think it's fine. He's going. Like, we shouldn't moan about it. Yeah.
Would you keep him or would you? No.
No, not now. Like, before making this decision, I would have kept it. But after the decision has been made, I don't want to turn it around and say now we should keep him. So if we have made the decision by the club that he's going, then he's going.
Does Morgan Gibbs White start for us in the Champions League? We're not going to buy Champions League final quality players, mate. Can a player not improve?
But in this current team, he will definitely play in Champions League final if he joins now. So
That's what I'm
Correct.
saying.
Correct. He
Yeah.
will.
I'm going
He's
to
good
minute.
enough.
Kante was at Leicester and went to Chelsea. Riyad Mahrez was at Leicester, went to Chelsea. Nathan Ake went from Bournemouth to Manchester City.
I would say he wouldn't have started our Champions League winning team, but he would start now. So
Yeah, I've already said that.
Sure.
Actually, I've already said we're not buying him at 100 mil.
No.
No way.
We'll have a market value set and we'll stick to it.
I think people have just got PTSD over the Gibbs White stuff because of Calvin Phillips. I do. I don't understand it.
Yeah. And if that's the case, then it's like don't have a crack at the English players. Have a crack at the system as to why we have to have so many homegrown quota. That's the rules. That's the laws of the land that we have to live by.
Yeah, some don't get it. And
And,
some
if you don't like them, sorry, you can have to go support a team in Europe
see the thing
where
is
they don't have to worry about that as much.
All right, then Jeremy Doku the GOAT. Is Jeremy Doku good enough to play in the Champions League final right now? Gibbs White is better than Jeremy Doku right now.
Totally. 100%.
You won't like that, but it is. And it's nothing to do with one being English and one being Belgian.
just on that left wing thing, who would be our starting left winger for Champions League final right now?
That's what I'm saying. And by the way, Yaya Toure was signed by this guy's mate down here. So Chica, and you got to remember Jeremy Doku, the GOAT. Yaya was signed by a different board, a different manager, at a very different time. Would Pep have signed Yaya Toure? No.
I wouldn't.
Because he dropped him out of Barcelona, mate.
He was signed by Roberto and Brian Marwood.
There you go. I know that because Alan knows Brian Marwood. Has Brian Marwood not blocked him yet? Has he not frigging blocked him? I'd have blocked you by now.
I mean, consciously, he has. Consciously.
Spencer blocked you.
Yeah. Consciously, yeah. Just
Spencer's all right. We can get Spencer on again if you want and have a chat with him.
Well, I thought he was coming on again, but then you just disappeared.
You fell out with me for a week, about 4 weeks.
You said you were bringing Spencer Prine on and then went on LB show for a month.
Listen, don't start. I've been banned from LB because he clearly doesn't even talk to me anymore. And
you shouldn't go on and say silly
well,
comments.
isn't that a shock?
Is there a channel you've not been banned out of yet? Does that not say something about you?
Daps.
If hang on a minute. If the same person keeps making the same problems, is it the people with the problem or is it the person creating the problem?
Give over.
You sit there and eat the crumpets. I'd get Xavi Simmons as a shout, but that's good. You got to remember, by the way, we'll say this, Pat. Is there a cheaper option for City, or is everyone we're going to go for a lot of money?
These days, everyone's a lot of money.
Exactly. Yeah. But again, comes back to what I'm sort of speculating on. We need to look a bit more as to what Viana's going to do as well, too, because I think you're not just going to get somebody who you hope has the operational expertise of, say, someone like a Cheeky, but someone who maybe have a little bit of scouting as well, too. Because like I said, one thing that Portuguese league is they're damn good at knowing scouting the next big talent that comes through as well, too. So I've got a feeling we may I'm not saying deflectionary tactics, but I'm saying we may be spending a lot of time talking about who the next big signing is going to come through at City as well, too. But there's every possibility that maybe a lot of under the radar sort of signings made. There may be the next Claudio Echeverri come through for South America as well, too. There might be some new up-and-coming talent coming through in the Portuguese league as well, too. So I think we're just going to see a different sort of dynamic in terms of how we do business with Viana in, as much as it is about, listening to media reports several months before the transfer window and then, finding out who our actual targets are and then, spending time weeks and weeks and weeks just seeing how they progress and things like that. I still think we might see a bit more happen sort of happen in a way that we've never really seen before. I think there'll be a bit more sort of low key signings. There won't be as much. Yeah, I just think Viana's expertise is going to offer a different dynamic to anything that we've sort of done before. So I think it's pure speculation because I think there will be names out there that we won't know about now, and we probably won't know about, until maybe a week before, they're on their way over to Manchester to sign the new contract. So we'll just wait and see. I think there's going to be more to this window than what we just see in terms of tabloids.
Well, so do you think we'll see Echeverri before the end of the season?
Dealing with injuries and other off-field issues.
I think we'll see him at Club World Cup.
You'll see him in the Club World Cup. Yeah. By the way, Bayana, he did an interview apparently last week where he said he wants to look at Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona because the clubs in the Premier League offer nothing more than a bit more money, and that's not his motivation. Bayana doesn't want to leave; he wants to stay in Spain. So you can take Bayana off the table, I think.
I think you can say the same. I think you say the same for Zubamendi as well, Martin.
Yeah, I know everyone's no on Morgan Gibbs White. There's a big difference here. You're not going to like this, but if Wirtz doesn't want to come, and Morgan Gibbs White does, would you want to be forced to do a job you don't want to do? People are saying Wirtz gets no say in the matter. Wirtz gets the final say.
Yep, he does. Quite right.
He doesn't just get the say, he gets the final one. And, it is what it is.
How would this one go on? How would our fan base go on now, the younger ones, with Gary Megson in the midfield and people like that we used to have, and Alan Kernigan at the back? Oh, please, honestly, they'd be slitting their own throats.
Mate, I'm actually, you're not going to like this, mate, but City don't buy superstars. We never have. We never bought. Well, we don't do Galacticos.
Haaland's the only exception.
Erling Haaland was the only Galactico we ever bought.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but it's just. This is what I mean. If you're going to support Manchester City, look at it, understand it. Come on.
Tommy Hutchinson, no, he was good. I like Tommy Hutchinson.
No, the thing is, what I mean by that is we're not Real Madrid. We don't act like Real Madrid. I know fans want us to act like Real Madrid, and we don't. That's not the way our board acts.
Mego.
Rihanna doesn't act like that.
The Ginger Messi, Gary Megson.
Listen, I've said this, but Dashmas, haven't I said this? Right, people are going to say Martin's favourite word, standards. It's not my favourite word. But City have standards. City won a treble when they bought one and they had KDB. They made KDB world class. KDB wasn't world class when he came. He was known as a Chelsea bloody reject.
Yep, correct.
See, I read somewhere else, someone said the trouble with English players is they like to get pissed. I'm like, I don't know where this has come from at the minute. There's a lot of like agendas rolling around. No, but no, he won't be. Morgan Gibbs-White will not be the only midfielder. I don't know. I think people are very, very worried. Just enjoy it. Everyone's going mad over Diego Costa now.
I want Trafford.
What bad decision? I disagree with that. That's your opinion, mate, but I disagree with it. Don't need happy clappers like Martin Lowe and his standards. Well, I don't need you on the channel then, mate. Why are you here?
Oh.
Do you see what I mean? People like Jeremy Doku the GOAT think they can insult me.
Jeremy Doku is a very average left winger.
So I'm sorry, Jeremy Doku, but you don't like it. See ya. Because I've been here a lot longer than you, mate. So please don't tell me what to do in my own channel. Be a bit respectful. Yesterday, I got called a racist of somebody. This fan base has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't get it.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Oh, dear me.
Someone said to me today, you are a racist bastard.
Who said that?
You only have Mancunians and locals on. Pat, how long you lived in Manchester for, mate?
40 years.
On and off. On and off for about 2 weeks at a time for the last 15 years.
Smash. You're a man, cat. Where are you living again? I mean, I'm doing an American show. I didn't know America was in Manchester.
There is a Manchester.
It's like, fuck me. I'm the only bleeding Mancunian on the show. Oh my God.
Put your monkey muscles away.
I don't know what I've done to I've really triggered some people lately. LB messaged me. He went, how have you triggered everyone? I didn't know. I don't know.
That's what I do on shows on purpose. That's why I do. I trigger everyone on the panel.
I don't know.
Well, if it's a joke, can you make it sound like a joke? Because I'm getting abused a lot, Jeremy Doku the GOAT, for no reason.
Is that beer you're drinking this time in the morning?
What?
Oh, it's water. It's all right.
Beer? What beer's
I've got work in 5 hours' time.
Anyway, right, we're going to wrap up. You know what? Should we do a space?
Yeah.
Frig, why you? Jesus, you're going to be on it.
Me? Well, so are you now?
Right, just to let you all know, I might have some news. I've got something to share with you all. Dash message really alongside. I know where he is as well, and I'm not going to tell you where he is.
Don't dox the poor fella.
No, I've met Dashmas, and he's a top fella, and it was a pleasure to meet him.
Oh, good.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, and he even met my other half as well, didn't you, Dash Smash? And he met my son. I mean, am I really 5'4"? As people say.
You're not tall. You're not tall.
You've never met me.
I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5'2".
Brighton at home when we worked on the other channel. Do you remember?
Oh, piss off. Yeah, you did.
Exactly.
I'll give him 5'6".
Shit then as well.
Yeah.
Hey?
It's a bit harsh. I'll give you 5'6", mate, but that's about it.
No, I'm 5'8".
You know, are you bollocks? You're smaller than me.
I am 5'8".
You bullshit.
Dash Smash, what would you say I am?
Somewhere
He's
on
not
that,
answered.
like I was
funny. It's quite funny because every time I meet up with Martin, he's either sitting in the car or he says, "Oh, I'll meet you on a staircase."
You know how tall I am.
I'll meet you on a staircase. He's like, "Stay there. I'll have a better conversation with you there."
By the way, tomorrow night, I'm just going to put this on the screen. We've got this show at 8 p.m. Now, as you probably heard, there is a big thing over season tickets at the moment. So tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we've got a very, very special show. The 1894 group are going round a lot of channels. They're starting at 6 p.m. on the South Stand with Big Steve and Daps. At 7 p.m., MCFC Food Bank and another rep from another. I haven't got that. I did have a list in front of me. It is on my tweets if you want to have a look. And in 9320 Pubcast, alive at 7 p.m. with MCFC Food Bank and all the gang over there. And then at 8 p.m., there's going to be the next part of it all with ourselves at 8 p.m. So you have literally got 3 hours because there is going to be another protest on Tuesday night.
Oh, for God's sake. What are they doing this time?
What does that say? Jesus Christ, Pat, can you help him?
What are they doing this time? We're playing the biggest game of the
Let's
season.
talk season tickets.
What protest are they going to do? Walk out the stadium? Is that what they're doing this time?
No, that's planned for the Bournemouth game. No, the Wolves game.
No, Wolves, yeah.
That's planned for Wolves. There's a 6-minute walkout on the Wolves game. Am I taller than Bernardo? Yes, I am. You can't talk. You're 7'5".
Oh, that was pretty funny the day that Martin met, because I was there when Martin met Ed. do you know what the first thing Ed said to him? He goes, "Where's the rest of you?"
Is that what he said? Where's the rest of you?
Where's the rest of you?
That's brilliant.
I met Ed and I went, "Hiya."
Yep. Funnily enough, it was in Orlando too, so he can get on a lot more roller coasters than you can.
Jesus, brilliant.
No, we can't. We're too tall to get on the roller coasters.
Oh well.
Ed's too tall and me and Pat are too fat to get on the roller coaster. and Alan's definitely not getting on with his Milky Bar kid hands. Why are they so bright? Why? What have you done?
Well, if he went over to Orlando, by the time he finishes his first couple of rides, he'll be called the Red Rocket.
Ladies and gentlemen, he lives in Australia.
In Melbourne now.
Which have just, I know you're about to go into your winter time. He's just come out with summertime. What did you do? Did you stay indoors? Did you go under a shelf? Did you not go out?
No.
Did you have a bath in sun cream? What did you do? How are you still that white? Look!
You're blending in with the walls, mate.
Look how brown I am. And that's just me sticking my arm out the window driving down the motorway. DC, pause. Calm down. Bang on that door.
No, right.
DC,
by the way. Take a lot of pressure off me, DC. Thank you.
I want to say massive thank you again, DC, for that very kind gesture the other week. It has been used, all been used by my family. I got a costume. All my family went. They don't call him stepladder about it for nothing. As long as it's stepladder, not stepdaddy. Right. Anyway, Dash Mesh, thank you for joining us, mate. We're going to get you back on more. Like I said, there are huge shows happening. Alan, thank you again. We'll get you on maybe Tuesday night. No, Wednesday night. Wednesday night, we'll get you on. Wednesday night.
Okay.
Pat, are you around this week?
Yeah. I think we're still on for our Blues Down Under.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we're going to disappear, and you and Pat, you and Alan can explain.
Come on, Pat.
All right. So, just something that myself and Martin have been talking about for the last few weeks is we want to start doing a few more sort of daytime shows. Well, daytime UK time shows, just for everybody. I know some of you out there got a little bit of a hint of what we wanted to do before LB stole it with the Americans. Well, we want to do something with the Australians. So at the moment, the aim is for something around about sort of, more like mid-morning, maybe lunchtime, UK time. Just going to have a bit of a sit down with myself, Alan, Nick, who, comes in from time to time as well too. Basically, have a few Australians on just to have a little bit of a perspective on what's happening, how things are here in Australia, how we do things a little bit differently here. But just basically just sort of broadening, just painting with a broader brush, as I mentioned before. Just seeing who we can get on from Australia who, shares the same sort of opinions, or, we can have good discussions about the club and things like that. And we're going to go from there. So Martin will be probably posting flyers and getting information out to you guys. But look, keep an eye on that. That'll be Wednesday night here, Australia time. So probably around about sort of lunchtime-ish, morning in the US sort of thing. So keep an eye on that. Blues Down Under, or whatever we're going to call it. But keep an eye on that, and it should be up in the coming days.
There you go. So that will be up Wednesday morning. I think that's going to begin, like we said. I'll be on the first one. I'm going to join him for the first one.
So it'll be Nick and Keely. If anybody knows in the chat, Keely as well too. Keely's going to be on as well too, because those of you who don't know, he's actually a Tasmanian resident. So
I thought you were going to say devil. I don't know why. When you went Tasmanian, you're going to say devil.
It's funny because one of my.
I'm sorry, Keely, if you're listening. I can only apologise.
That's a good point, Thunder Road. That's how Alan looks like when City win a game, because he don't know how to handle himself. DC, that's not.
He goes pale with joy.
And also Ed, keep an eye on that one, because Ed is going to be part of Stateside Blues that is going to start in May. Also, Veta Games TV is part of it. I know he's Canadian, but can't know. And also, we're going to get Dash Mesh on a show. And we're also, Steve Lewis is going to come on a weekly panel. I've got one starting with Baz Through Black and White Eyes. I'm not going to tell you on the idea, but there's a new show starting with Baz. Me and Baz starting next year as well, next season. So massive, massive plans. Because I'm going to be honest with you, we're going to try and take this full time. I know that's what some may not want, they may not like, but situations has changed for me. And I want to get in a position where Pat and Ozzy and Alan and all them are doing it, to maybe get a little summit as well at the end, because they are putting in a lot of hard work. People forget that these two are getting up at 5 a.m. So, and Ozzy's putting in a lot of things. There's a lot of, yes, there are other countries. There's only so many days in a week and hours. I will get other shows, I promise you.
Dash,
but let's just get these running.
You can start the Island Blues, don't worry.
You are never having your own show. Me and Pat and Ozzy and Rich have already discussed that.
What?
I won't give you your own plugs. You won't give you your own bath to run.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'd rather talk to that wall behind you, Alan. I mean, I know it's the same colour as you, but still, we need to.
Does everyone want do you think I should have my own show? I think
you have your own show. You just yell at a wall. You just yell at a wall for 12 hours every day.
At least I don't have you barricade me from behind in the Imperial anymore.
I mean,
Don't want to be behind you for anything.
Here's a great question. Should Alan leave the channel? No, I'm only joking. Nah, anyway. But Dashmas, honestly, absolute legend. It's great to have you on. I want to meet you again sometime. The plan is still to do that big get-together next year as well. There's big plans for the channel. But the one thing we are always going to do, and I will promise this, and I know it's hard to do, someone will be watching this, and they will email me, and they will say, it's very hard for you to do what you said. I get it. But God loves a trial. And I'm Catholic. It's the day of God rising. So happy Easter to those who did celebrate. If you didn't, happy holidays. Happy Sunday. But we've all discussed this. We have all agreed we are going to keep the family community going on this channel. It will always be your channel. Always. It will always be your channel. We will never take that away from you. Because that is the one thing that we promised and we are so proud of to say. You're not happy with the show and you're not happy with something, you let us know. We respond to every comment, every piece of feedback, good or negative. Because good feedback and bad feedback are just as important. It's the personal attacks that are wrong. But bad feedback is as good as good feedback. You need to know where you can improve as well. Because in life, there is always room for improvement. As Pep Guardiola has proven this season.
Right. Is that...
Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. And I will see you all in the next 20 minutes for a space for an hour before I watch Night to WrestleMania. Take care, all legends. 8 p.m. Oh, don't forget episode 6. And keep an eye out. Or should I say, keep an ear out. Take care, all.
See everyone.
As always, up the blues.
Door City.